Hi everybody, I'm Deacon Dave.
I'm Layperson Lisa.
Welcome
Dunamis
to
Debbie.
What the heck? Come on, dude.
I thought we did that first, and then I was going to say starring
No, special guest.
with special guest Dunamis Debbie.
That's fine.
Okay.
Maybe next
Hi
time we'll
everybody,
get
I'm
it
Deacon
right.
Dave.
I'm Layperson Lisa.
Welcome to the Deacon Dave and Layperson Lisa show with our special guest.
Dunamis Debbie.
See, doesn't that work good?
Yes.
Thank you. And so now we are on to we had our
know.
introduction session last time. It's going to be a long advent, y'all. So, and Lisa, what is our first topic?
So today is about drifting on the water. So where are we not being intentional? So where are we just drifting along with the current, kind of going with the flow, rather than being intentional with our relationship with Jesus?
So
I
let me,
just thought of something funny. Sorry.
go ahead.
Should I keep it to myself?
No, go ahead.
So you mean instead of drifting and just rinsing, we need to use soap?
What are you talking about? Be intentional with that soap use,
Yes,
people.
yes. Sorry.
So I'm going to first start with church.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So it's
Yes.
very easy for us to drift, in and out of church each and every week, going through the motions. There's a lot of beauty in the Mass, but if we're not careful, we can become very transactional, and we actually end up drifting away, right, from Christ. All the while we're physically there, but spiritually, we're like way down river somewhere instead of staying present for where we are.
Or we hit a branch and we got stuck.
Whoa.
She's just a regular comedian tonight. What say you, Lisa?
Well, I think sometimes we have distractions during Mass, and we can let those distractions keep us from focusing on Jesus. And so we can be intentional about focusing on what's happening on the altar instead of the chaos that sometimes can occur in Mass. But I also wanted to say how we need to be intentional about the Sacrament of Reconciliation, because we can just kind of, if we're not in a state of mortal sin, it's still important to go to confession to receive that grace to strengthen us against the venial sins as well, and to be intentional about going ideally every 4 weeks or so.
Yeah.
If you're not moving towards God, you're moving away.
Yes.
Right.
Drifting away.
But not only that, we need to have a high awareness of not going to Mass to just check a box, that we need to actually be present. And being present is knowing and understanding the Mass and all the different parts of the Mass, and really being present to what is happening, that we're all joining in with Jesus at the Last Supper. And I think that the more that our awareness the more that we grow our relationship with Christ, the more height that our awareness gets.
No, I agree. So another angle on this is, and of course, Mass is the highest form of prayer in the church. But outside of church, we need to be intentional about spending quiet, solitude and silence time with God, reflecting on the scriptures, the saints, the church fathers. And just, Mother Teresa said that, when we read, God speaks to us. So a lot of times,
St. Jerome.
I thought Mother Teresa said that.
She probably quoted St. Jerome.
Well, I like Mother Teresa, so.
Maybe she said something similar.
Probably.
Right. Or maybe Mother Teresa said that Jesus spent more time in prayer, more time in prayer than he did in his
to
ministry.
others. Yes.
How's that? And that's what we need to do now that I've been corrected. Thank you for helping me with my humility. But it is important, because we seem to not give God our first fruits.
Yeah.
And we put him way down the totem pole of priorities, thinking that Sunday is enough. Sunday is not enough.
Right.
Lest we drift and not truly be filled with the anointing love of God through our prayer life.
Yeah, it's interesting, because I would say, like, in the last 2 weeks or so, I've talked to a few people, and they were wanting to spend more time with Jesus in prayer. And, like, some of the things that were causing them to drift along their day and miss that prayer time was that they were letting other things prioritizing other things more than their prayer life. And I was like, no, like, you need to do that first. Before you pick up anything else, before you do anything else, you need to spend that time with Jesus, because that's the most important time of the day. And so sometimes when we have schedule changes, we have to reprioritize that time as well.
I agree.
Absolutely. I know I'm guilty of when I'm not on my normal routine, especially maybe when I'm out of town or on vacation, that the busyness and the out of the norm, I guess you could say, it messes up the opportunities for prayer, but we need to also be very intentional. And I think we also have to know that as we spend more time in prayer and solitude, and as we grow a relationship with Christ, that those distractions, i.e. the devil, sometimes he's gonna still try and attack us, because he doesn't like the fact that we're getting closer to Jesus. So he wants to make sure that he tries even harder to make sure those distractions distract us.
Yeah, exactly. So one other thing, so love God, right? We have to be intentional about loving God and spending time with him, but we also have to be intentional about loving our neighbor. These are the two greatest commandments that aren't listed that way, right? Love God and love your neighbor. And so often we can be busy that we missed opportunities to be intentional about helping other people. So we have to be looking for those opportunities, because when you're looking for them, God seems to point people out.
Yeah. It's funny because when, like, a few years ago, like, I'd be working on something, and if somebody interrupted me, I would get annoyed, because I didn't realize that was actually an opportunity from God for me to encounter him through this person.
Right, but what do you do now? You offer up that annoyance to God and grow in virtue,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, and so when you offer it up in union with Jesus' perfect sacrifice, Debbie, like you said, that's actually really good. Then you can ask that might merit graces through God the Father on the lives of other people.
But it also helps me to see things differently too. Like, I don't necessarily see that as an annoyance now. I see it more as an opportunity, and like, okay, like, this computer work is not that important. I can stop and have a conversation.
I'll remember that.
Well, I am Deacon Dave.
I am Layperson Lisa.
And I am Dunamis Debbie.
We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Where do you need to be more intentional so that you don't drift away from God?